I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to our website, you'll learn everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck. And once you're good and educated about the show, click on that merchandise tab. It's going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know, love, and expect from the Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall arts, bed sets, it doesn't make a difference to us. Something like 88 different gimmicks with our logo on it. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so listen up. Here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. Please give us a like on Threads. That's our newest account. We're trying to build that up right there. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and we are still on X, at least for now. You can find us on YouTube. Please give us a subscription right there. Turn on those notifications today, and it goes a long way to helping us out. And it is a big deal to help bolster those numbers there on YouTube as we are looking to build that out for the year 2024. You can find our recaps, our previews, all of our full episodes of Renegades Puck TV, and so much more on our YouTube channel when it comes to the audio version of the podcast. Thanks to the Full Press Predators podcast and the Full Press NHL coverage, we've gone from local to global in the year 2023, and we're looking to really close out the year strong here in December. So you can find us on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, several other podcast platforms. Just search Renegades of Puck on your preferred podcast platform today for the Renegades of Puck podcast. Venmo is how you can support the show financially. Just go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. Thanks to the generous Renegades just like you watching and listening right now, we've been able to make significant upgrades to this operation over the last couple of years. Most recently purchasing a brand new computer, which we're integrating into the scenes, and we are really looking forward to getting that up and running and moving along with what we are doing in the technology department behind the scenes here. So if you'd like to support the Renegades of Puck, you're always welcome to do so. We're always accepting donations. Even $1 goes a very long way to helping this independent hockey operation. Listen, I know it's time to get to the No Half Step in Hockey coverage. So listen, let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 830. That's right, time for show number 830. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division after 24 games skated on the season. They have a record of 12-12, and they have 24 points. Those 24 points find them 8 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche. On the road, which is where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place, they have a record of 4-6. Preds have scored 76 goals in the season. They've given up 77 goals against. Now, I mentioned being 8 points shy of first place Colorado in the Central Division, so let's take a second and recap the most updated standings on the Central Division. The Colorado Avalanche in first place after 24 games skated, 15-7-2, 32 points. That has them 1 point clear of the Dallas Stars with a record of 14-5-3. Winnipeg Jets are in third place with 28 points, 4 points back of first place. Then you'll find the Arizona Coyotes in fourth place with 26 points. The St. Louis Blues with 25 points. The Nashville Predators with 24 points in sixth place. Minnesota with 20 in seventh. And the Chicago Blackhawks with 14 points. 10 points behind the Nashville Predators, and the Chicago Blackhawks happen to be the Nashville Predators' next opponent. So let's start right there. After 23 games skated on the season, the Blackhawks are in 8th place with a record of 7-16-0. Something unique about these two teams in this matchup, they're the only two teams in the Central Division without an overtime loss. Now, they are 10 points behind the Nashville Predators on home ice. They have a record of 3-6. They've only scored 56 games on the season, and they've given up 85 goals against. Now, once the Nashville Predators wrap up this game in Chicago, they do return back to Nashville, but only for one night. That'll be Thursday versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then back out on the road for another back-to-back Saturday, Sunday in Toronto, in Montreal, and then the 12th of December back home for another one-night stand versus the Philadelphia Flyers, and then back on the road December the 15th at the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, this is the second of 4 regular season meetings between the Nashville Predators Chicago Blackhawks' first meeting of the season took place back on November the 18th. The Preds scored the 4-2 victory over the Hawks. Lankinen got the victory, 29 out of 31 in that game. It was Cole Smith with 2 goals, Yakov Trenin with a goal and an assist, and Nyquist with the other goal for the Nashville Predators. They'll meet 2 times in the second half of the season in 2024 portion of the schedule. On January the 2nd, the Predators will welcome back in the Blackhawks for the second and final time this regular season. And right near the end of the season, on April 12th, the Nashville Predators will make their second trip into Chicago this season. Quick update on the injury situation for the Nashville Predators. Tommy Novak still on injured reserve. No timetable for his return. The same with Glass, and Carrier is listed as week to week, but not officially on injured reserve. Now it's time to get into what the Blackhawks have been up to lately. Let's talk about their previous 5 games before we get into the rankings, the matchups, and the numbers between these 2 teams. They're about to play each other on Tuesday night. The Blackhawks going back to November the 26th. It was a 4-2 loss versus the St. Louis Blues on the 28th. A 4-3 win versus the Seattle Kraken on the 30th of November. 5-1 loss at Detroit on the 2nd of December. A 3-1 loss at Winnipeg, and most recently on December the 3rd, a 4-1 loss at the Minnesota Wild. Mrazek got the loss, 30 out of 34 in net. Taking a look inside the numbers in the NHL rankings, and it's not particularly pretty, but these 2 teams are very, very similar in several of their metrics. So let's talk about it. Goals for the Nashville Predators 3.17 per game is 16th in the NHL, while the Chicago Blackhawks 2.43 is 30th overall. The Preds are giving up 3.21 per game. That's 17th overall in the NHL, while the Blackhawks are giving up 3.7 goals per game. That is 29th in the league. In the shots for category, Preds generating 31.2 per game. That's 15th best overall, while the Chicago Blackhawks are generating just 27.5 shots on goal per game. That is 30th overall in the league. In the shots against category, Preds are 17th, giving up 30.4 per game, while the Blackhawks are giving up 32.8 per game. That is 28th overall in the NHL. Special teams, not very pretty in these numbers right here, but the Preds have the better of the power play between the matchup. 19.2% conversion rate is 19th in the NHL. 18 conversions on 94 opportunities. Chicago power play is converting at only 11% this season. Is 29th overall in the NHL. 8 conversions on 73 opportunities. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Blackhawks are ahead in this particular statistical metric. 75% kill rate is 24th overall in the NHL. They've given up 19 power play goals against, while the Nashville Predators have a kill rate of 73%. That's 29th in the league. 20 power play goals against on the seasons. Taking a look inside the individual top scorers, because every team in the NHL is loaded with top talent and high skill, and even the Chicago Blackhawks in 8th place have Connor Bedard leading in rookie scoring with 11 goals and 9 assists for 20 points, leading the Blackhawks in both goals and assists, and obviously in points, leading Luke Evangelista of the Nashville Predators. You'll hear his name when we get over to the Predators side of the ledger. Kurashev at 4 and 9 for 13 points. Dickinson 7 goals and 5 assists for 12 points. Donato 4 and 6 for 10. And Johnson 3 and 9 for 12. Over on the Nashville Predators side of the ledger, Philip Forsberg continues to lead the team in goals with 13, assists with 15, and total points with now 28. Ryan O'Reilly putting together a really nice first season of his Nashville Predators career. 11 goals and 10 assists for 21 points so far this season. The captain, Roman Josi, third on the team in scoring with 5 goals and 12 assists for 17 points. Gus Nyquist, 3 goals, 14 assists, 17 points. And Luke Evangelista, like I said, second in rookie scoring on the season. 3 goals, 10 assists for 13 points overall. Anticipated goaltending matchup sees UC Saros in net with a record of 9-10-0 and a .900 save percentage, 3.05 goals against average. Against Peter Mrazek, a record of 5-8-0 and 8.99 save percentage, a 3.42 goals against average. That's going to get you all set up for the Nashville Predators at the Chicago Blackhawks. Neither of these teams particularly great on the road or at home, so the Nashville Predators an opportunity to take their second game of the season against Chicago Blackhawks. It's critical when the Preds get to play teams below them in the standings that they seize the opportunity and get these points. Preds 2 out of 2 on points on the season. Let's make it 4 out of 4 in Chicago. We'll be back with the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We got to talk about everything that happened between the Nashville Predators and the Buffalo Sabres. It's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to December 3rd of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were in Buffalo to take on the Sabres on the second day of back-to-backs over the course of this weekend. Andrew Burnett deployed his line combinations defense pairings in the following way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Sherwood, Parson, and Evangelista, Trennan, Sissons, and Smith make up your third line. Jankowski, freshly called up from Milwaukee, getting an opportunity with McCarron and Tomasino. McDonough and Yossi, Luzon and Fabro, Stastny, and Shen are your defensive pairings. UC Saros gets an opportunity to start in net. 1:10 into the first period, it's Luukkonen coming up with a save on Yakov Trenin, the first shot on goal of the game. At 1:20 of the first period, it's Cousins coming up with a shot that has to be stopped by UC Saros, his first touch of the game. 2:07 of the first, Luukkonen a save on Jankowski through traffic. 3:18, Saros comes with a save on Skinner at close range. That always troublesome Skinner. 4:41 of the first period, Saros comes up with a save on Rosen. At 5:57 of the first period, Saros comes with a save on Skinner's one-timer. Teams back and forth trading opportunities. Now it's the Preds' opportunity at 6:19 in the first period. Luukkonen comes up with a save on Nyquist plus the follow-up jam by Luzon. 7:06 of the first, Saros comes with a save on Cousins plus the rebound follow-up. 9:35 of the first period, Luukkonen now comes up with a save on O'Reilly's heavy shot. O'Reilly, a noticeable presence early in this game. At 9:40 of the first period, it's Philip Forsberg's 13th goal of the season, breaking through for the Nashville Predators, giving them a 1-0 lead. It was a wrist shot off of O'Reilly's face-off win. Forsberg used the traffic still in the face-off circle to go ahead and use that as a screen to go ahead and beat Luukkonen. Forsberg's 13th of the season gets the Preds on the boards. But at 10:54, it's Yakov Trennan's 5th goal of the season, which is a deflection off of Colton Sissons' long shot, giving the Nashville Predators a 2-0 lead. An incredible deflection in front by Yakov Trenin on this play. 12:02 of the first period, it's Luukkonen coming up with the save on Parsonen. At 13:11 of the first period, UC Saros coming up with the save on Okposo. At 14:31 of the first, it's Rasmus Dahlin off to the box, 2 minutes for hooking our first penalty call of the game. It's going to be Luukkonen coming up with the save on O'Reilly, then Luukkonen another save on Nyquist, one more save on Parsonen plus the rebound jam before the end of the Nashville Predators power play. Nashville Predators pouring on the pressure, but Luukkonen is able to hold. 18:49 of the first period, it's Luukkonen coming up with a save on O'Reilly from the slot. A robbery of a save with the glove left. O'Reilly looking up towards the rafters, wondering why did that puck not find its way into the net. At the end of the first period, the Nashville Predators are outscoring Buffalo 2-0 and out shooting the Buffalo Sabres 14-11. On to the clean sheet and into the second period, we're 1:24 in, and it's Luukkonen going to work early, coming up with a save on Cole Smith off of the rush. Then at 2:01, coming up with a save on the captain, Roman Yossi. At 3:29 of the second period, Luukkonen comes up with a save on O'Reilly. Meddlesome O'Reilly yet again out there getting another scoring opportunity. At 6:09 of the second period, UC Saros coming up with a save on Dahlin. The first shot on goal of the period for the Buffalo Sabres. It comes at 6:09 of the period. 7:36 of the second, Luukkonen comes up with a save on Gus Nyquist. 8:56, Luukkonen another save on Shen's long shot. At 10:02 of the second period, right past the middle point of the game, we see Luzon getting called for the trip, and we see Olofsson being awarded a penalty shot, and he is finishing easily with an explosive backhand to forehand move going high underneath the bar. Olofsson's third goal of the season comes on the penalty shot, putting Buffalo on the board. The Nashville Predators still lead the Sabres 2-1 in this game, and for UC Saros, the third penalty shot he's faced against this season. At 10:14, UC Saros back to work immediately. The Buffalo Sabres gaining some momentum from that goal. Here's a save on Tuck. At 10:25, Saros a save on Skinner. At 11:59, Saros a save on Cousins. At 12:28, UC Saros continues the work, coming with a save on Jostin. Then at 14:24, UC Saros another save on Skinner. And at the 15:49 mark of the second period, UC Saros coming up with a save on Cousins' backhand. It is UC Saros putting in the work and keeping the Nashville Predators in this game. Buffalo Sabres gaining all kinds of momentum after scoring that goal on the penalty shot and just taking over the ice and tilting it in their favor here in the second period. At 16:39, Luukkonen clocks back in, does a little bit of work, coming with a save on Mark Jankowski, as Jankowski is the only Predator to be able to break through in quite some time. At 17:49 of the second period, it's Luukkonen again coming up with another save on Jankowski again. So again, Jankowski seems to be the only Pred out there making things happen. At 19:60, 16 of the second periods. UC Saros coming in with another save on Cousins. We hit the end of the second period. We end up with a large scrum. Players have to be separated. It took quite some time to get the players off of the ice. At the end of the second period, it's 2-1 in favor of the Nashville Predators, but the Buffalo Sabres are now out shooting the Nashville Predators 23-22 here in this game in Buffalo. Second day of back-to-backs for the Nashville Predators. Let's see what kind of legs they have left going into the third period. At the 20-minute mark, we would find out during intermission there would be matching minors called. It would be Krebs and Sissons. Krebs for Buffalo, Sissons for Nashville. Off to the box, 2 minutes each for roughing. So we would start the third period with a 4-on-4 scenario, and absolutely nothing would happen during that 4-on-4 scenario. That's why we find ourselves all the way at the 3:20 mark of the third period before we get the first shot on goal of the period, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Kyle Okposo at 4:02 of the third. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on Skinner. Follow that up 29 seconds later with another save on Skinner. UC Saros and Skinner locked in battle in this game, and they have been locked in battle for many, many years, actually. 5:42 of the third period. It's Luukkonen coming up with a save. Mark Jankowski again on the play for the Nashville Predators, being one of the only ones to break through in the offense. McCarron setting the traffic and the screen in front of the first shot on goal for the period for the Nashville Predators comes at the 5:42 mark of the third period. At 6:38 of the third period, it's Luukkonen coming up with a save on Luzon at 7:09 of the third period. It's UC Saros coming up with a sprawling desperation save on Cousins. It was the best save of the game. UC Saros completely laid out on the belly, making the save with the side of his body sliding way out of the crease, but maintaining the puck and keeping the puck from going into the net again. At 7:09 of the third period in a one-goal game, UC Saros coming up with easily the biggest save of this game. Highlight reel stuff. 5-star save right here. You can add as many adjectives as you want to it. It's not going to quite add up to it. It was a great save and a timely save and an important save in a one-goal game. That was at 7:19. We're now at 7:30 of the third period. It's Forsberg. He goes wide on the breakaway, so after Saros comes up with the big sprawling save, Philip Forsberg goes the other way, gets a breakaway, and ends up missing the attempt wide, tries the stuff and jam attempt 2, 3, maybe 4 times before finally has his stick removed from his hands and thrown like a javelin. The referee just kind of shrugged and looked at Philip Forsberg, who could not quite understand what happened right there. 8:49 of the third period. It's UC Saros going back to work, and this time it is a save on Jost at 10:11 of the third period. It's Saros coming up with a save on Cousins again. This is the 30th shot on goal for the Buffalo Sabres coming at the midway point of the third period. The Sabres just pouring on the offense. They continue on with that. 11:30 of the third period as UC Saros has come up with a sharp angle save on Benson at the post. UC Saros locked into the post and tracked that puck perfectly at 13:39 of the third period. It's Luukkonen coming up with a save on O'Reilly. Parsonen getting to the net, going to the dirty area and setting the screen. At 14:24, though, it's UC Saros right back to work at important minutes right here. 14:24, Saros a save on Dahlin. We would go a couple of minutes without a shot on goal, but 17:19, Saros comes up with another save on Dahlin. Dahlin was really wheeling and dealing and trying to make the play from the blue line out there, and he had some really good, strong looks at it. At the 18-minute mark of the third period, we get to the empty net scenario. Nashville Predators would do an incredible job keeping things mostly to the outside and mostly under control. At 19:22, Saros would have to come up with a save on Cousins, and at 19:59, right at the buzzer, UC Saros would come up with one last save. It would have counted if it had gotten past Saros. Your final in this game, the Nashville Predators strap in and hang on for seemingly the final 40-plus minutes of this game. They win this game 2-1. The Buffalo Sabres outshoot the Nashville Predators 35-29. The Buffalo Sabres went from 11 shots on goal in the first to 23 at the end of the second to 35 at the end of the third. The Buffalo Sabres able to pour the pressure on the Nashville Predators. The Preds had 14 shots in the first and scored 2 goals, easily their best period. After that, declining results and also declining gas mileage on the legs in the second night of back-to-back. But UC Saros showed why he's a franchise goaltender and did exactly what he needed to do on this second night of back-to-back. On this road trip in Buffalo, UC Saros steals a game in the third period, securing the 1-goal victory for this Nashville Predators team. Impressive stuff for the Preds after losing to the New York Rangers on home ice just yesterday. You gave us 10 minutes. We gave you the entire game. That is the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We've got analysis, box score, all the numbers and opinions coming up, and so much more right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and we'll talk about the analysis now. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. UC Saros in this game, 34 out of 35, and I said before the weekend going into the back-to-back, the first back-to-back of the season, that one of these netminders this weekend would steal one of these games, and for UC Saros, he was able to do that. The game was in his hands for the final 40 minutes. Really, once the Nashville Predators scored the second goal, it seemed like they were decelerating for the rest of the game. The penalty shot was the only goal against. That was one sick, explosive move right there to score against Saros. The Preds needed that performance. They needed one of their goaltenders to step up and really take a game, and UC Saros was incredibly strong down the stretch in the third period in this game. Again, 34 out of 35 in this game. Every single one of his saves came at even strength, a 971 save percentage on the season. That's obviously dramatically higher than his current 900 save percentage for the season. So for this individual game, UC Saros absolutely lived up to his reputation as a Vezina caliber goaltender, and for the first time this season, you can say that UC Saros absolutely stole the game. This game was completely in his hands and on his shoulders, and if he hadn't put up the performance that he did, there's no way the Nashville Predators come out of this thing with 2 points. Let's talk about how they got those 2 points other than UC Saros. Philip Forsberg picked up a goal in this game. His 13th of the season is team leading, 28 points. He's also team leading in 24 games. He continues to average more than a point per game this season. That is an incredible pace through the first 24 games. He continues to succeed on offense. He continues to be creative, and there's no reason why, as long as he stays healthy, that he's not going to continue putting up the numbers. He went 2 goals, 2 games without getting on the sheet, but now right back on the sheet. Now, usually he gets pretty consistent when he gets on the board that one time. So I anticipate against Chicago and perhaps beyond the next couple of games, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Montreal, Philly, Carolina, those are teams Philip Forsberg might be feasting against. So for Philip Forsberg, picks up his 13th goal in this game, and he uses that sick wrist shot, scoring from all over the ice, scoring with all kinds of different shots, and scoring with all kinds of different levels of skill. And we're going to talk about it in just a second, but I'm going to mention it more than once. It's criminal that O'Reilly didn't get an assist for winning the faceoff on Philip Forsberg's goal, but I'm going to talk about O'Reilly here in just a moment. Let's talk about Yakov Trenin first. He got the game-winning goal in this game. It's what an incredible turnaround. It just goes to show you that a player can completely turn his season around after being in the dumps for 14 games to start the season, a healthy scratch. Andrew Burnett's best success story so far is Yakov Trenin, giving him the night off and then getting him back in the lineup, and now Trenin doesn't appear that he'll be going anywhere. We also see a lot of progress from Philip Tomasino after being healthy scratched, and now Dante Fabro perhaps as well, but that just happened recently, so we're going to check it out. We're talking about Yakov Trenin right here, and it's incredible the way he's turned his season around. Game-winning goal, and he's a player that the fans love to get behind. He's easy to get behind. He plays good, hard, physical. He plays simple hockey. He goes to the net, and he works incredibly hard, and he brings a lot of physical jam to the game. 2 hits in this game, but most importantly, the game-winning goal for Yakov Trenin. Again, just a great story for this Nashville Predators in the early part of the season. Andrew Burnett's early coaching career to turn Yakov Trenin's career around as quickly as it was, because it was falling off of a cliff there, and it was happening fast. We have to talk about Ryan O'Reilly. 5 shots on goal, and again, criminal that they did not give him an assist on the Philip Forsberg goal. He was 13-7 in faceoffs. He's a pro's pro, and he owned that performance against the New York Rangers. Listen, the amount of minutes he put up against the New York Rangers, he said after the game he wasn't good enough. He called himself out, he owned it, and then he went out there and he was 13-7 on faceoffs for 65% faceoff winning percentage in this game. And that's just an incredible example to the young players on this team and to the veterans on the team as well, to everybody on this team, to the fans of this team. Ryan O'Reilly is a gem and a treat, and again, a pro's pro to make the comments that he did after the loss to the New York Rangers when there was no reason to feel any shame about losing to the best team in the NHL. Ryan O'Reilly called himself out for his own poor play and comes out and in this game in 1845 was much more impressive than he was yesterday in his near 26 minutes of time on ice in that game. So Ryan O'Reilly, a real pro's pro, he owned the performance against the Rangers and he comes out and did something about it against the Buffalo Sabres, helping this Nashville Predators team get on the board with 2 points. Let's talk about Mark Jankowski getting the call up from the Milwaukee Admirals. Generated 4 shots on goal. There was a point in time in this game where Mark Jankowski was the only Predator who could get the puck into the offensive zone and get it anywhere near the net. So you got to give Jankowski some credit for getting to Buffalo, having enough fresh legs to go 12:35 in time on ice. And I made the note that he deserves more games. He looked strong out there. And we know we have previous experience with Mark Jankowski last year. I thought that he performed very well, especially during the time period when several veteran players were out injured. For Foodie, I think this is bad news. Even though Foodie picked up an assist in the last game against the Rangers and looked good in that game, I see Jankowski slipping into the lineup and in one game being way more noticeable than Foodie has been in numerous amounts of games. I think Jankowski deserves more time on ice. I think he deserves more of a look, and he deserves more games, and he fits in with the bottom 6 of this Nashville Predators roster so much better when you think about Cole Smith and you think about Sherwood and you think about Sissons and Trennan and McCarron. I see Jankowski really fitting in with that particular grouping. So I think Jankowski deserves to get the next game in Chicago. Take a good look at him. Delgado got at least 3 games in the lineup. Stastny got a couple of games in the lineup in his first call-up. I say give Jankowski the next couple of games and see if he gels and fits, because the performance he put up in Buffalo, it was a good one. And while the Preds were decelerating and running out of gas, Jankowski was not running out of gas whatsoever. He was still performing pretty well there in the third period. So again, give him some more time. Let's see what he can do. And if he can prove himself, well, then the Nashville Predators might have found another bottom 6 combination that they can rely upon to play the Andrew Brunette style, which is fast, but it's also physical. It's also a lot of strong hockey, and Jankowski's fully capable of that. He's a fast player who can bring the jam. That's going to do it for the analysis portion of this game for the Nashville Predators. The second night of back-to-backs, they ran out of gas after the second goal they scored. They just were decelerating from that point on. They hung on, and they were able to hang on. They rode a hot goaltender in UC Saros all the way to the finish in this one. But for the Nashville Predators, for the second day of back-to-backs, they did not look like they had some very good legs or a lot of energy. And frankly, even though the ice time was very much under control, and we'll talk about that during the box score portion of the show, it was still tough to watch the Predators just kind of slow. They have a lot of back-to-back games and a lot of hockey coming up on the schedule over the month of December, so they're going to have to learn to manage that. I thought yesterday there was too much ice time for some of the forwards, and you could see in the third period today they were unable to really keep their legs under them to keep going. All right, let's get to Stripe Digital, and then we'll talk about the good cold hard numbers, the box score, and then we got something special coming up before the end of the show. We're going to be back right after these messages from our sponsors on the Renegades of Puck podcast. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. In a 2-1 game with barely any penalties called, there's not going to be a whole lot of things to talk about in the box scores, so let's get into it and let's go through it. Phil Forsberg scores a goal in this game. Yakov Trenin also scores a goal in this game. On the assist side of things, Sissons and Smith are the only ones awarded assists in this game. The defense does not pick up a single point in this game. When it comes to shots on goal, on the forward side of things, O'Reilly has 5, Nyquist has 4, Jankowski has 4. Yossi leads the defenseman with 3 shots on goal. When it comes to block shots, shots. It's Shen with 3 blocked shots, and then Trenton has 2. No other Nashville Predator with more than 1 in this game. When it comes to the physical element of things, Cole Smith with 6 hits in this game. Impressive work for Cole Smith. Sherwood had 4 hits and was getting under the skin of the Buffalo Sabres all game long, and Forsberg also delivered 3 hits in this game. The defensive leader 4 hits was Luzon with 2. Nobody else with more than 1 on the Nashville Predators. When it comes to time on ice leaders, I just mentioned it, the second of back-to-backs, and the time on ice I thought in the first game against the New York Rangers was a little bit skewed too high for some of the forwards. Definitely more balanced and even in this game. 18:45 is your time on ice leader with Ryan O'Reilly, and then 18:01 is Gus Nyquist. 16:45 is Philip Forsberg. 16:23 is Colton Sissons. On the defensive side of things, only 2 over 20. The captain Roman Yossi at 24:04. Ryan McDonough at 22:20. On the power play, Nashville Predators time on ice leaders Forsberg, Jankowski, O'Reilly, and Sissons all 128 in power play time on ice, and the captain Roman Yossi 145 of total time on ice. No shorthanded time on ice because the Nashville Predators did not take any penalties. The only penalty they did take was a penalty shot against Luzon, and that was capitalized and scored upon by the Buffalo Sabres. When it comes to faceoffs, since O'Reilly talked about how important it is, and it is extremely important. If you start with the puck, then you can make things happen. Set plays come off of faceoffs all the time. Nashville Predators had one in this game with Forsberg's goal. 5-3 for Michael McCarron, 62.5%. Juuso Parson, 6-1 in this game, 85.7%. Ryan O'Reilly, 13 and 765%. So for the Nashville Predators, and you got to give Yakov Trenton credit, 1-0 on the faceoff for 100% in this game. Nashville Predators really rebounded when it comes to faceoffs in this game after looking pretty bad in the last couple of games, especially against the New York Rangers. Losing faceoff sometimes leads to losing games, so it's a critical part and component of this here game. UC Saros in net, 34 out of 35. 34, all of his saves coming at even strength. His save percentage for this individual game, 971, and he stole this game. He really needed this one. The Nashville Predators really needed this one, and they got this one from UC Saros. So great job by UC Saros, showing why everybody has such a high reputation for him. This was one of those games where you can look and go, yep, and he made an incredible 5-star save in this game that was pretty easy to see. Reputation earned in this one, 2 points also earned. UC Saros gets the win. His numbers looking better. That's his 9th win of the season, a record of 9-10, a save percentage of 90, and 3.05 goals against average. Those numbers still need to absolutely improve. All right, and that was a lot of Predators hockey in less than 24 hours, so let's go ahead and wrap things up. Also had Spartans hockey, USPHL Premier Division, over the weekend. My 40th game called for the Nashville Spartans. It was against the Dallas Ducks. The Dallas Ducks were in town for a series over the weekend, and I just compiled a couple of numbers on the good old sheet for all the games that I've called. For the Nashville Spartans, I've called a combined between Elite and Premier 40 games. Let's talk about just Premier here. 24 games, a record of 17-7, 121 goals for, so I've had 121 goal calls on the season for the Spartans, 61 against, and this takes you back to Saturday night when the Nashville Spartans were looking to put some more space between themselves and second and third place in the division, looking to stay ahead of the Metro Jets and the Toledo Cherokee. The Nashville Spartans on home ice at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. I take you there now. I love this job. I love being a part of the Nashville Spartans, and I love what I do as part of the USPHL and being on the headset and calling the games, especially doing it solo where I can just kind of zone out and call the plays and really get into it and really enjoy what I do up there from the perch. So let's take you back. Let's wrap up the weekend with this package right here. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. We'll wrap it up with a little bit of Spartans hockey, stick taps, love, and respect.
I'm Charlie Saunier, voice of the Nashville Spartans, and the Nashville Spartans welcoming the Dallas Ducks for the second night of 2. It was the Spartans with the 4-0 victory last night. Austin McCallie leading the way with 3 points in that game. The Spartans now find themselves 18-4-1 on the season. 37 points has them in first place in the Great Lakes Division. Gus Imken, 9th in points in the USPHL Premier Division, 6th overall in goals with 24. Kyle Flynn, 15th in the league in points right now. Ronnie Keenan, 14 goals and 24 assists for 38 points. And after last night's action, McCallie now at 31 points. Spartans averaging 5.65 goals per game, only giving up 2.09 goals per game. Last night it was McCallie, Arnold, Grant, and Free with the goals. Hurt 13 out of 13 to get the shutout. and the Spartans generated 53 shots on goal. Looking forward to another big matchup tonight between the Dells Ducks and the Nashville Spartans here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. I'm the voice of the Nashville Spartans, Charlie Saunier. Swords up, prepare for glory. One minute, 9 seconds to go on the power play. Spartans get the goal right there. There it is. And the Nashville Spartans have a power play goal first on the board in this game. It was Grant bringing the jam to the front of the net. Spartans 1, Ducks 0. That's Chris Free getting to that loose puck. Chris Free going to the net, and Chris Free putting the puck in the net on the backhand. Chris Free with a sick finish here to make it 2-0 in favor of the Spartans. He moves across laterally from the top of the zone, fires it on net, turns aside, he'll get his own rebound back to the half wall. Survey and setup back to Flynn at the blue line. McCallie now holds shot pass option from the middle of the ice. He's got plenty of them. Flynn over from the circle. Flynn puts the puck towards the net, and it's in for the Nashville Spartans. Spartans score on the power play, making it 3-0. Grant bringing the jam in front of the net. Flynn with the setup. 30 seconds to go here in the period. Spartans get the puck, and they'll get an opportunity, and Ronan Keenan is going to finish after the turnover. Spartans 4, Ducks 0. Keenan, ever the opportunist. Spartans looking for a scoring opportunity. It's Keenan holding the puck, stick handling, firing. It catches glass. Spartans on the rebound. Is this going to be deemed a goal? Referee points to the back of the net. This is going to be deemed a good goal. Puck was knocked off of its mooring by the goaltender trying to get across. A lot of disagreement from the coaching staff over on the bench of the Dells Ducks and from the crowd on the side of the Dells Ducks. McCallie intercepts the puck, takes it into the offensive zone, drives to the net, and McCallie finishes off the play on the forehand with ease. Pass a little too hot for Indelicato, but he's able to pick the interception off as they were trying to clear the puck out of the zone. Spartans get the puck and fire it into the net. Again, that's going to be another power play goal for the Nashville Spartans. 7-0 here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Great stick by Indelicato, takes the puck away, forcing the Ducks to go back to their own zone. And Spartans are going to get the shorthanded goal right here. What an incredible play by Indelicato, and Davidson stealing the puck in the neutral zone, carrying it into the offensive zone, and finishing the play with the shorthanded goal to make it 8-0 in favor of the Nashville Spartans. Slick hands by number 86, Gino Indelicato. Slowing the play, and now Grant taking the puck away. Grant gets through one defender, gets through two defenders, throws the puck towards the net, and the Spartans convert. McCallie over to Wolfenbarger, tip pass in front, and that puck is in the net. The Spartans with another goal. That's going to be the Spartans' 10th goal of the game. Ops go out high to Alec Poole. Alec Poole shoots the puck on net, and the Spartans put the rebound in. The Spartans put the rebound in for their 11th goal of the game. Alec Poole fired the puck. 90 seconds to go here in this hockey game. Ronan Keenan with the puck. Hands it off to Indelicato for the shot, and the Spartans score again. Throw the puck the length of the ice. That's going to be waved off for icing. No reason to delay this game any longer. 10 seconds to go in regulation. And we are going to delay this game just a little bit longer as we're going to get one more penalty called. 9 seconds to go. And it's going to be Plumbert, number 8, off to the box. With 9 seconds remaining in the game, 12-0. The outcome, obviously not in doubt at this point. The Nashville Spartans are going to move to 19-4-1 on the season, 39 points. That'll put them 10 points at this moment in time, ahead of the Metro Jets and the Toledo Cherokee. Nashville Spartans will also move to 142 goals scored on the season, and they will have outscored the Dells Ducks this weekend by a combined score of 16-0. Hurt gets the shutout last night, and tonight it is Daniel Duzick getting the shutout for the Nashville Spartans. Nashville Spartans get 6 points from Grant, 4 points from McCallie, 3 goals from Keenan, and a shutout from Daniel Duzick. 12-0 is going to be your final score here tonight at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. I'm Charlie Saunier, voice of the Nashville Spartans. Spartans just finished up the 12-0 victory over the Dells Ducks. Sweep over the weekend by a combined score of 16-0. Ronan Keenan just finished the hat trick out there on the rink. Austin McCallie also with 4 points in this game. Grant with 6 points in this game. The Nashville Spartans, an incredible offensive explosion. Now on the regular season, have 19 victories. 4-1 is the rest of the record. 39 points, has them 10 points clear of second place Metro Jets and Toledo Cherokee. Again, an incredible offensive explosion tonight by the Nashville Predators. 12 goals here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. 4 goals in each period. A penalty-filled affair. Daniel Duzick gets the shutout tonight. Last night it was Hurt with the shutout. The Nashville Spartans come away with the sweep over the weekend. We'll wrap everything up here from the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. I'm the voice of the Nashville Spartans. Swords up. Prepare for glory.